Hello, my name is Adishawa Bisaya, and I'm really excited to have you here with me today. This is a course I have been wanting to put out for a very long time, but I just never got to it. And so I said, 2025 is the year of doing more things and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, while also trying to be more impactful to the people around you, your society, and others at large. So that's why this course is here. And again, I'm excited to be with you today. So whether you are a student or an essay writer, or you're just someone who is trying to get through life generally and you want to know more about how to research, then this course is for you. The title of this course is called Learn to Research Like a Pro, even if you hate it. And yes, I said even if you hate it because let's be honest, research can feel overwhelming or boring when you don't know where to start. But today I'm going to show you how it can actually be much simple, useful, and even kind of fun when you have the right tools and the right mindset. And research is not just for when you want to write something or when you want to submit something. It affects every single area of your life. You're trying to get somewhere, you don't know the address. What do? You research. You want to cook something, you don't know the recipe. What do? You research. It doesn't have to be just Google. There are so many tools that you can use, many of which you're going to be learning today in this course as you progress through it. And I'm hoping that you're able to stay to the end and gain value from this course. Now, I'm going to be sharing easy tips, cool tools, and practical hacks that you can use right after this session. And I'm trying not to use any academic jargon. I promise you I won't do that. Just think of this as a chill crash course in becoming a smarter researcher without the stress. So grab your notebook, open up your Google Docs or your pen or something, or just lean in and let's learn how to research at the pro together. I'm going to share my screen now so that I can take you through the points I have put together for you all to see. And you can also use to take notes as the course goes on. So please give me a moment. All right. So the first thing that we should even understand is what is research, really? A lot of people think it's just about going to to Google stuff, but it's more than that. It's a lot more than that. Like I've written down here, it is the process of asking good questions, finding information, and making sense of it. What do I mean? Some people just, they see things and they they don't know what to ask. They don't know the right information that they even need to know. So because of that, they can't even ask the good questions. For example, you want to get to, I'm going to use Lagos as an example now. You want to get from Surulere to Lekki, and you don't know how to get there. Around this time last year, 2023, we had a thing called Lara, where you could just go to the web app and then you will type in where you're going to, where you're coming from, and it's going to give you like a list of directions that you can possibly take to reach your destination, right? But I don't know if that still exists till now. But let's just say we're in Lagos, you want to know how to get to Lekki from Surulere. Now, many of you will just go to Google and type distance from Lekki to Surulere. How do I get from Lekki to Surulere? But then that's not really helpful because what Google will give you is just a random research by TripAdvisor or something. And then you're going to be seeing things or information there that is not even going to be helpful to you because what do you mean there's a flight from Surulere to Lekki? You can check this thing, that's what it's going to give you. However, if you change the keywords just a little bit, you'll be able to know that, okay, if I use bus, this is how long it's going to take me to get there. If I'm walking, God forbid, this is how long it will take me to get there. You get what I'm saying? Another thing you will do is you're going to find sites with people that have actually taken this journey before, right? For example, Neverland. If you use the right keywords, you're going to see different threads of Neverlanders who have given advice on how to move from Surulere to Lekki. And from there, you get your information and you make your journey. You get there safe and sound. Simple, right? So it's the process of asking good questions, finding information, and making sense of it. Please pay attention to this, making sense of it. A lot of times we see things, we read things online, or we listen to them, and we don't even know what to do with them. Of course, we're going to get more into this as the course progresses, but just think of this way. Try to remember a time that you saw an information online and you had no idea what to do with it. But if you're good at research, you're going to learn how to make sense of the information that you find, because it's one thing to see the information, it's another thing to actually use it in a way that's going to be beneficial to you or someone else. Does that make sense? Now, moving on. Whether you're writing an essay, you're applying for a scholarship, or you're prepping for an interview, you're already doing some kind of research. Another mistake people make is they think research is something so elaborate, something so gigantic, a very stressful process, but it isn't. A simple, oh, you go to Google, you type how to make amala. That's research. You want to know how to write a cover letter. That's research. You want to prep yourself for an interview. You're finding more about the company. You want to know more about the questions that they could possibly ask you. That is research as well. It's the little things, you're already doing them. It's not something so big. Research does not always have to end up in a thesis or as a research paper or something. It doesn't always have to end up in one published article or journal somewhere. No, it's really simple. You do these things every single day. Now, what is the goal of research? It is to understand and not just to collect facts, which takes us back to making sense of the information that you've gotten. It's one thing to have your information. It's another thing to actually understand it and use it instead of just storing it somewhere. Like when we go to church and pastor is preaching, and we're just writing it down. The thing that we're reading, how many of you actually go back to your homes? When you get back home, how many of you actually open that book to read what pastor said? I can bet that at least, at the very least, 60% of you do not open it. It's part of what we're saying. Information is not just about collecting. You can't just be collecting it like that. You need to make sense of it, understand it, and use it, because that's the only way it's going to be beneficial to you in the long run. All right, moving on. Where do you start with your research? The first thing would be to understand your goal. Why are you looking for this information? Why do you need this opinion? Why are you looking at this case study? Are you with me? You need to understand why you are doing these things. And then when you understand why you are doing them and what you are looking for, you then ask yourself, what do I need to find out? Who is the expert on this topic? Where would credible information come from? Let me increase this just a little bit so that it's clearer for everyone to see. So again, you need to ask yourself this question. What do I need to find out? Am I looking for a recipe? Do I want to know who the author of this book is? Do I need information on pre-colonial era? Do I want to know who the first people to settle down in the American continent was? Do I need to know who started the revolution in Nigeria? Ask yourself, what do you need to find out? Because this will then lead you to the next thing. Who is the expert on this topic? And this question is important because it leads you or guides you on exactly where to check for the information that you need. For example, if you want to know who the first lecturer was in let me use Lee City University as an example. Now, you want to know who the first lecturer was in Lee City University. That's my alma mater. The first thing, or the first place I will check, is obviously the websites. Now, I'm just painting a scenario. I'm not saying you should go there and check. You'll see it there. You will not see it there because it's not stated. But I'm just saying, technically, logically speaking, the first place I'll check is the school's website. Now, if there's no information there, what do I do next? I go to LinkedIn and then I start checking what lecturers have worked here. You know, what lecturers have worked in this school? What information can I get from them? If that doesn't work, I'll go back to the website again. And I will send an email to the official email or any email that I see there. And I will send them a good professional email asking, please, I would like to know who this, and this was. Who was the first lecturer in UCC? What course did they take? Blah, blah, blah. I want to know. These are questions. These are things that you do when you are looking for information. You go to the experts on the topic. You need to know where to search for the information. I'll give you another better example. If you are a student and you want to write your final year paper, this could be either your master's thesis or your undergraduate thesis, whichever the case may be. Even a PhD candidates, if you're looking for scholarly articles, you need to know where to check. The regular Google won't do much for you. You need to go to Google Scholar. I'm going to teach you more about Google Scholar as we progress in the course, but just have this at the back of your mind. You need to go to Google Scholar. Okay. Why? Because this is where all the scholarly articles, the journals, the books, everything regarding education is going to be listed on. That is where you find information, right? So that is where you need to go to. And then you now search for the author of the article that you're looking for. Or if you don't know the author and you want to know more authors, just want to have more general information about a particular topic, you type out that topic and it gives you over 1,000 options to search and read through. I hope everyone is with me. So the next question, like I said, is who is the expert in this topic? Because this is going to guide you on how you go about your research. Now, number 3, where would credible information come from? Where would credible information come from? These days, everybody just goes online and they type whatever they want to type. And then they'll put it out there. And you too, from Delta State, from Nigeria, you go and open it. And then you go and start quoting it. You don't know who the person is. You don't have the person doesn't have any track record to show that, okay, this is the research I've done that gave me this information that I'm now giving back to you. Where would credible information come from? Let me tell you something. When I first started out in research, I used to quote Wikipedia. I'll quote Wikipedia and I'll put it on paper and I'll submit it. And I did this on my undergrad research paper as well. And there was no issue. It's Wikipedia, Abby. Everybody goes to Wikipedia. In fact, many of the books that we read in school that I didn't have the time to read, I used to use Wikipedia to just read through the summary of the book, and then I would use that to write my exams. Glory be to God, I passed. But as I grew in my craft and I started working with students abroad, I realized one thing. Wikipedia does not have credible information. There is no single professor in a university abroad that will accept a Wikipedia citation. Because what are you doing with it? When any child can open an account and put information on Wikipedia, you're not coming to quote Wikipedia in a paper that's supposed to be published. It doesn't make any sense. Wikipedia is credible. I can go out there today and say Adeshawa's net worth is $30 billion. And anybody that searches for me will see the information there and they'll believe it. You're going to know that I'm going to put it there. Where do I want to see the $30 billion from? I will say it, one day I will say it. But what I'm saying is look for where credible information will come from. If you're looking for numbers, perhaps you're doing something in economics or marketing and you need numbers, know where to check. Again, Wikipedia is not credible. But I'm going to give you a list of credible options that you can check from as we go on in the course. Now, finding good information online. Where can you find good information online? I've talked about Google Scholar already. Like I said, Google Scholar is great for people who want to write research papers and they need places to cite other authors from, because Google Scholar mainly gives you academic papers. And I'm going to show you what that looks like on Google itself. We're going to do the search together so that you can know what to search for and what it looks like in reality. If you're looking for statistics or data or numbers or something, you can go to government sites. You just, anything that has gov.ng or .gov or something like that, those are places that you can get credible information from. If you're looking for reliable university articles, then you can check educational sites that end with .edu. Of course, I'm not saying it's only sites that end with .edu that you can get this kind of information from. Some end with .com. That's not a problem. As time goes on, you'll be able to recognize which ones are real, which ones are not. But this is just the general guideline that you can use as you go about your research. If you're looking for news on current events or life-changing events or something happening somewhere in the world, then of course we all know BBC, Al Jazeera, The Conversation, the CNN as well. In Nigeria, we have Arise News, we have Channel, news sites. That's where you get information on current events. Now, if you're looking for a thought leader, or if you're looking for information on a niche topic, then you go to reputable blogs or thought leaders. And this can be mostly found on LinkedIn. So for example, if you're looking for information on certifications and all of that, you can check. I can't remember his name now, but I think he's the director of Certification Edge. You can check there and you can check his page rather, and you're going to get the information that you need. Or just go to the organization's page itself and you get what you need from there. Or you go to anybody that is an expert on certifications and things like that. You check their LinkedIn profiles and you're going to find information there. Okay. Now let me quickly show you what some of these websites look like in real life. Okay. All right. So now, this is what my Google homepage looks like. Let us look at Google Scholar, for example. All you have to do is go in here and type Google Scholar. See? And then you click. This is what the front page of Google Scholar looks like. So here you have two options. You have the option to search for just articles, and then you have the option to search for like case laws, case studies, or anything having to do with the courts or anything legal generally. That's where you can find this if you pick that option. But I mostly work with articles, so let's stick to that. Usually, okay, you can even see some of my previous search options. These are some of the areas where I've carried out research in previous times. Let us use one of them, supply chain strategies at Nestle. Or is it Nestle? I don't know. So, like I said before, it is going to give you over 1,000 results. And you can see here, about 2,780 results in just 0.10 seconds. That is less than a second, in case you were confused. That's what that means. And look at all the options I have. PDF, I have books, I have articles, I have every single information that I need. And it's just like the regular Google. It's going to give you related searches that other people have done in the same field or something similar. Do you understand? So you can just look, it's very simple, very simple. If you just use the regular Google and you type supply chain Nestle, this is what it's going to give you. It's going to give you results from the actual organization itself, questions that people ask, things like that. But if you know that you want to cite something, because usually you should cite when you are making reference or taking information from another article. Very important, please. Let us avoid plagiarism as much as possible. You want to cite where you got that information from. So it is always better to use Google Scholar instead. It's going to give you verified articles, articles that have been published and shared and used worldwide. And it's also going to give you information on how many times this particular article or information has been cited by others. So let's just check here. You see, you have the save option, you have the cite option, you have cited by one. This is to show that one person has cited this particular article before. And it's also going to show you where the article is gotten from, which is here, Academia Edu. That is another site that I use when I'm looking for scholarly articles. I use Academia Edu or ResearchGate. If you remember when I was, okay, it's even here in the search box. I normally use ResearchGate or academia.edu to do my research if I just want to go directly to the place, because ordinarily Google Scholar would just give you things that have been posted there. But if I'm looking for more information from other scholarly article database, then I just use Google Scholar directly. So yeah, you're going to see how many times the article has been cited, how many versions, if possible. And you're also going to look at, it's also going to show you related articles that you can also look at for your research sake. And it is consistent with all the options here. As you can see, in this particular one has been cited by 3 people and it has 4 versions. This one underneath has 2 versions have been cited by 6 people. Let's see what it looks like if you want to actually cite directly from here. You see, it just makes your work so much easier. Of course, there are different ways to this, but it makes your work easier. Now you are given, excuse me, you are given the MLA version, you are given the APA format, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver. Now, if these are still not enough for you, there are other sites that you can go to. You just have to copy the link or the DOI, you input it, and it gives you the citation. But it has made things so much easier for you. You will not get that option on the regular Google page. Is somebody with me? You won't get that option on the regular Google page. That's something I want you to know. Okay? So this is just to show you an example. Of course, please feel free to take out time and go through this thing on your own. I highly encourage that you do so because it's going to make things so much easier for you. The more you look at it and go through it, the easier it will be for you. Let's see which other options we have. Right, let's just look at news sites, for example. We want to search for current news. Okay, recently there were some airplane crashes in the US. Let's see what we can find. Now, another thing I want you to really pay attention to here is the way I put in the prompts. Let's say airplane crashes. You see that it's giving me 2014, 1993, 1985, 1956. I don't need this information. The information I need is between December 2024 to 2025 so far. So I'll go back here, the same set box. And I'm going to, because they don't give me options. I love Google. I really do love Google. Here, airplane crashes 2025. And you see, the first one that came out is Wikipedia. Of course, you can check. I'm not saying you should not check Wikipedia. I'm just saying don't cite it. Check it. You have USA Today. You have Fox News. You have Tribune Online, Greenville Online, Daily Mail, Metro.co.uk. You see what I'm saying? Reputable news sites that you can check for the information. I think I'll prefer to check USA Today. Let's see what it gives us. How many plane crashes have there been in 2025? How many people have died? You can see the author, the date it was posted, the date was updated, things like that. You can all see it there. And already we have information. But you see, this is nice. But again, even the way I searched still has an issue because the search I did gave me so many different results. Of course, that's what you're looking for. But what I'm trying to say is it gave me results of not just the US, which is where I'm actually looking for. It gave me results of Nigeria or any other place included. So we're going to go back. Airplane crashes in the USA 2025. Google will try to change it. You can. USA, the same thing. Let's use Google's suggestion. Again, USA Today has come up. You know why? Because you're looking at the US, which was why I went to click it that first time, because that's what I was really particular about. But the difference is this time around, the only results that Google is going to give me is for the US. At least in the very first page and the second page, it's only going to be for US. From the third page downwards, it could be other countries, but the first two pages, maybe first 3 pages will be particularly for the US. So that's what I'm saying. The way you search, where you check matters. Let's go back to our presentation. All right. Now, I'm going to be teaching you a couple of acts when you are doing search on Google. Let's see, if you want to pick just information from pages that have .edu, all you have to do is type in digital literacy, please in quotation marks exactly as you've seen it. Digital literacy site .edu. And you're only going to find results from .edu site. Let us put it to practice again. I'm going to copy this. And then I will take you to my Google search. I'm just going to put this here. And you can see scholarly articles for digital literacy, what I put in here. Now, what are the options you're seeing here? https://photomac.edu. What is digital literacy? pce.sandiego.edu, gcu.edu, digitalcoms.uni.edu, pcc.edu again, quarkle.edu, openlab.bmcc.cuny.edu. It is only going to give you results from sites that carry .edu. I hope this is clear to everyone listening here today. Let's move on. Let's try and see another hack that we can try out. If you're looking for only PDFs, you just want PDF files only, you can do this. File type PDF scholarship guide. So let's say you're looking for a scholarship, sorry, this thing. Ignore. Okay. Said ignore now. Okay. Let's go back to Google again. Paste this. File type PDF scholarship guide. I want to download a scholarship guide, but I only want it in PDF format. You input that in, click enter, and here we go. The very first option from QS, very popular site for rating schools abroad or all around the world actually. And what do you see here? PDF. Let's move down. What do you see? PDF, PDF, PDF. They are all PDF forms, PDF files rather. Do you see? And they are only for scholarship guides. Let's assume I want a CV template. A lot of people look for CV templates these days. Just put that in. Again, we have options. First option here from University of Oxford, the CV templates, and it's also in PDF form. Another one from Anderson.edu, PDF, 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 PDF. They're all PDF files. So this is one app you can use. Somebody is telling you, your boss is coming to make you, I want a PDF file of this one, this one, this one. Now, instead of you to just type CV templates, and then you go and you start converting from docs to PDF or from IMG to PDF, don't waste your time. Just type file type, PDF, no space, so don't put space, together, file type, PDF, CV template, and you're going to see all these options. So it's not left to you to select which one that you want to carry out of them. Maybe the academic one or professional one. Let's us optimize the search for that. I'm going to put in job, okay, let's say job CV template. It's still giving us options. PDF, PDF, you see? PDF, 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 PDF. They're all good. And no, don't be scared that you're still seeing universities. It is still a working CV. It is still a working CV. The thing about the difference between academic and the regular CV is just in the arrangement. But many times, schools will give you the two of them that you can use. Because for a lot of applications, you are even going to use the regular one, if I'm being honest. It's just what you want to prioritize might be different in the CV and the arrangements and everything, but essentially they are the same. So you're going to see options. For example, senior leadership position, curriculum writer, CV template. And then click on this, and this is from the African Union. This is the option that it gave me. If you want, you can follow this. Whichever you want to do is fine. Now let's go back to the course. So listed here are other acts that you can obviously adopt. And please feel free to maybe take a screenshot of this page with your phone or write it down somewhere so that you can start using these hacks. And another thing you can do is, again, go to Google and Google search the hacks. And you're going to see a lot of people who have put up articles that guide you through the entire process. Let's move along. Okay. Summarizing without stress. One thing a lot of people need to learn how to do is to summarize. You don't just want to copy and paste things. You want to read a paragraph and explain it in your own words. That is the point of research. Again, and I want you to keep this at the back of your mind as we progress in the course. When you are looking for information, you want to be able to make sense of it. Remember, I talked about this at the beginning. You want to be able to make sense of the information that you've gotten. And one way you can show that you've actually understood what you found is to explain it in your own words. If you are still in school, then I'm sure you must have seen this, or perhaps you even practice it as well. The best way to understand something is to explain it to people, right? Because that cements it in your head. You have read that shawarma is a type of food made with cabbage, salad cream, whatever else you found. And you want to explain it to somebody else. You are not just going to copy word for word what your lecturer told you or what you saw in a textbook. No, you are going to explain it to your friends in a way they will understand in your own words. That is what it means to make sense of an information. You are not just grabbing it all and putting it to other people. It is not a take in, take out kind of thing. No, it is take in, process it, and deliver it in a way that your audience or you yourself would understand. Okay. Now, if that is still, maybe too stressful for you, or you have a lot of things that you want to summarize, we have a lot of tools these days that can help you do that. And you don't even have to pay a dime. You don't need to do any single thing. It is free. And one that I really love that I also use myself is Quillbots. A friend introduced this to me about 2 years ago, and since then I have not looked back. As a matter of fact, the web app has advanced so much that it can cite things for you. It can check for AI, it can check for so many things and just do your work for you, and you don't even have to pay a dime. Of course, there are benefits in getting the premium version, but I'm just saying, if you don't have the money to, don't stress yourself. Don't worry, it will do the work for you. So if you want to rephrase things and you want to do it in a quicker time or as short time as possible, you can use Quillbots to do this. Again, another thing you want to do to help you summarize without stress is to ask yourself, if I had to teach this to a friend, how would I explain it? Like I said, making sense of an information is to take it in, process it, and deliver it in a way that your audience would understand. Let me use this whole presentation as an example. I have learned these things over the years, and I'm trying to teach it to you now. The way I got it is not how I am presenting it back to you. That's not what is happening here. I am teaching you in my own words. I'm just using the presentation as a pointer for what to say next. Okay? That is an example of saying, if I had to teach this to a friend, how would I explain it? This will make things so much easier for you. And you can apply this to any kind of work that you're doing. If this could be in your regular conversations with family and friends, it can help you become a better communicator. Or you can also use it in an undergraduate or graduate research as well. Or in a job interview, they are telling you, tell me about something you learned recently. How would you explain it to them? You must have done the research now. Okay. Okay, you've done the research, you've gotten the information. Now tell them, how do you explain it? That's what this whole thing is about. Okay? Let's move on. Keeping track of what you find. Now, it is one thing to find information, it's another thing to, keep track of it, which is why at the beginning I said, come with your Google Docs, your pen, your paper, anything you're going to use to jot and take notes of what you're going to learn. Now, there are different ways you can do this. There are different ways you can keep track of the information that you found, because a lot of times you don't even need the information immediately. It might be something that you're going to need much later on, and you just want to keep note of it now so that you don't have to start running all around when it's time to use the information. What can you do, or what can you use to store information of what you found? The first thing here is to copy the links into a Google Doc with a short summary beside each one. Very simple. You open a new document on Google Docs or WPS or Word or anything that you have, and then you basically just copy the link and then you paste it in. You add a short explanation just to help you remember that, okay, this was where I got it from. This is why I saved it. Yeah. Another thing you can do is to use tools like Zotero or Notion for organized research. You can also use ClickUp. Let me just quickly add that here. You can also use ClickUp to do this as well. If you're an iPhone user, you have a Notes app. I think Android has, they usually come with Notes app these days. So if you have a Notes app, you can also put this in there to jot things down. Yeah, jot things down. And you can see that the options there are all online. There's a reason for that. It's so much easier to get back information that you stored online than something stored on paper. Why? It's easy to lose the paper, but things that you stored online, in many cases, they are so much easier to retrace and retrieve for later use, even if you misplace them now. But that's just by the way. So yeah, use tools like Zotero, ClickUp, or Notion for organized research. You can, organize it the way you want it. Maybe this is the main information, this is the second key point, this is the third one, things like that. It makes sense and helps with note taking. The third one is to take a screenshot or save as PDFs to a Google Drive folder. I always save as PDF to my Google Drive folders. I have a lot of folders and I have subfolders within those folders to really organize my work, but that's just how I do it anyway. You can adopt the same or do it in a different method. Point is, you can take a screenshot, you can save it in the PDF format to your Google Drive folder. It doesn't even have to be in a folder if it's not something so much like that. It doesn't have to be in a folder. Just save it to your Google Drive and make sure that it's properly backed up and saved so that you can access it later. And one thing you should always do is and this is especially for articles that you want to cite later on, you should include the title, the author, the date, and the source. Now, if you are going to be using Google Scholar for this, you can just click on that cite option and then to give you different formats that you can use to save it. Otherwise, you can just do it manually. Let's say I've written a book titled Learn to Research Like a Pro, and you want to note it down somewhere so that you can check it up later. You can just put it there, Adeshawa, Okay, first the title. You put the title, how to search like a pro, the author, Adeshawa, the dates, 5th of April 2025, and then the source, maybe it was from Google or from ResearchGate, whichever the case may be, you write it down there. This just helps you remember, okay, on this date, I got this, and this is why I got it. This is who wrote it. Capiche? Now, I'm going to teach you, okay, I'm going to teach you research tools that you are going to love, and you can use this for any research you want to carry out. The first one, Google Keep for taking quick notes. Again, you can use Google Keep to keep track of the information that you find. So let me mention that it's a kind of note-taking app as well, but for Google, it's part of the Google family, and you have this on your laptop. I don't know if there's a mobile version, but I know that there's a laptop version that you can always download or just access through your Google accounts, and you can take notes there. Okay. Now you can use Notion, like we mentioned before. You can use Grammarly to polish your writing. You can use Quillbot to rephrase and summarize. And you can use Google Docs to collaborate and organize. I really love the Google ecosystem because even without paying, you can still do a lot of good things with their applications. You and your colleague or you and your fellow classmates can stay online together and work on your assignments or something like that. It just makes it so much easier to collaborate with people. So aside from this, and other tools I use include Scriber. I use this for citations. If I don't like what Google Scholar is giving me, or I didn't even use Google Scholar in the first place, I'll just take the DOI or the link to Scriber and it will give me what I want. For the spelling, it is SCRIBBR. You can use it to check if your work is AI originated or not. You can use it for citations, which is what I mainly use it for. You can also use it to rephrase and check your grammar, so many other things like that. And it's free too. You don't have to pay a dime to get things done with that tool. Another one I love is the Excel sheets. I love Microsoft Excel a lot. I love it a lot. I also love the PowerPoint presentation. I like I think I would say I prefer the Microsoft PowerPoint to Google Slides. That's my opinion, just saying. But yeah, there's so many tools like this that you can use and you're going to enjoy using them because they are all free. They're all free to use. And you're also going to get premium value. And oh yes, let's just not forget ChatGPT. ChatGPT. Perhaps there's going to be another course on that will teach you how to use live prompts to get what you want. But ChatGPT is a game changer. A pro advocate for it. I did not say carry everything you want from there and submit it to somebody else. They will catch you and you will face the consequences alone. Use it ethically, okay? But use it. It makes life so much easier. Right. So that is really it. That is the end of this short course. I hope I've been able to help someone get better at their research. Like I said, if there's anything you want to take a screenshot of, any information you need, you can always just, skip back or rewind a few seconds or minutes so that you can take a screenshot and note it down somewhere. Okay, so I'm just going to be leaving you with final tips that you can take home with you after this course. Research is a skill. The more you practice, the easier it gets. It's just like writing. People say, I want to learn how to write. But the truth is, until you write, you don't learn. It is something that you practice and then you keep on getting better as time goes on. Same thing with research. The more you do it, the easier it will be for you. Okay? Next is start small and be curious. Have a very open mind. A very, very open mind. This is important. You want to be in a state where you are always eager to know things. when you are eager to know things, you begin to ask the right questions. You begin to ask the right questions and you begin to learn more in that process and begin to receive more information. That way, when your mates are talking about the economic situation of the country, you are not there thinking, what food will I eat this night? Did you guys see that football? You know what I'm saying? It makes you and keeps you knowledgeable. You're going to be able to add meaningful contributions to any conversation that you find yourself in. That's the benefits of doing research. Okay? So start small and be curious. Another thing is avoid overwhelming yourself by keeping your sources simple and focused. You don't want to have so many things at once. You will end up confusing yourself. Keep things simple. Know your sources. Just little short places that you can get information from. Have them at hand. And lastly, you don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to look. There are times when people would say, Shawa, I'm looking for information on this, this, and this. Can you help me? Well, I will not know it because I'm not Google. I don't know everything. Um, I'm not a wizard or a witch that will know every single thing of a supernatural human being that is going to know what is happening everywhere in the world. But you know my superpower? I know exactly where to check to find the information that I want. And you should too. You should. I don't know the names of people that will end up watching this course, but if you're my namesake, Kadishawa, Emanuela, Blessing, Yetunde, what that means, Peter, Michael, Victor, whatever your name is, know where to look. Know where to look. And then you automatically become the go-to person for information. You know, and don't brag that I know everything. There's no need to do that, but just position yourself in such a way that even if the world is going to end and people want this information, you don't know it all, but you know where you can find what you're looking for. That is very important. Okay. And that would bring us to the end of the course. I hope you've been able to learn from it, and I'm really looking forward to having more short courses for you guys like this that will just help you as a student or a person generally, and we can do great things together. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. If this has helped you, please make sure that you share with someone else, your loved one, your friend, your family, your children. I don't know. Just share with them, let everyone learn from this as well. And if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Adishawa Bisaya. Once you search me out, you're going to see me there, I think. Or you can do a search and connect with me. You can just leave a message saying, oh, hi, Shawa, I got your profile from this course. Say the name of the course so I know that, okay, these are my students, and I would connect with you and we can keep in touch. So if you have more questions, so you can use that medium to ask me. And, I'm going to upload this. Okay, whichever website I end up uploading this on, you can leave a comment there and I'll respond as well. So thank you so much for joining me. I will see you another time. Bye.